Something that Mark Lowry said is absolutely shocking and is shaking the televangelist world to its foundation. For many years, the surname Lowry has been associated with matters of faith, authority, and strife. However, Mark has recently made an unexpected statement regarding the notorious Bill Gaither. What, though, could possibly remain hidden after all this time? Secrets that have been kept for years are about to be revealed by one of the most famous preachers in religious history. All of that will change because of this news. Mark Lowry just shared some shocking news, so come along as we uncover it. There was a time when Bill Gaither and Mark Lowry were seen as the power couple of gospel music, moving millions of listeners with their blend of seriousness, harmony, and humor. A scandal, however, shifted the focus. After years of touring together, creating uplifting music, and becoming one of the most beloved Christian music groups of all time, their bond went beyond just being co-workers. They became brothers. The plot was orchestrated by Gaither. Throughout his life, he used music to spread the message of his mission. Conversely, Lowry was the show's beating heart. To a crowd that had loved him for years, he returned with his comedic chops and storytelling abilities. Their admirers assumed they were inseparable. Together, they performed some of the industry's most heartfelt shows, went on tours, and shared laughs. They were well liked by all because they were trustworthy, religious, and cooperative. It became clear that things weren't always what they appeared to be. When their reputation began to crumble, it was a shocking moment on stage. Lots of people were going to be there to hear the Gaither vocal band play, and they were all prepared to be moved by the beautiful harmony they would sing. However, Mark Lowry subsequently made a statement that stunned the entire Christian community. Word got out that Bill Gaither was seen kissing another woman, according to him. An unusual pause occurred initially. Someone misspoke to a lot of people. Had Lowry cracked one of his famous jokes? He had a reputation for being hilarious, and he occasionally tested boundaries in ways that people found amusing or unsettling. The room's atmosphere, Gaither's expression, and his own speech all suggested something else. Normally composed and authoritative, Gaither appeared visibly distressed. In an effort to put it out of his mind, he chuckled nervously. However, the audience was in no hurry to depart. Assuming it was all in good fun, some of them couldn't help but laugh. As they pondered the words spoken, a few individuals whispered to one another. Next, many people took to the internet to share their thoughts. Inside minutes, the internet went into a frenzy. Everyone from music fans to detractors and even fellow church musicians began examining each frame to determine if it was a prank or an unexpected truth. Some individuals immediately dismissed it as a bad joke and laughed it off. However, not everyone was convinced. A Twitter follower of Gaither's inquired, "Did you see Gaither's response?" Another commenter said, "Mark Lowry just told us something we weren't supposed to know." So it goes. Afterwards, the honest speculation began. In an effort to confirm or refute the story's veracity, fans researched Bill Gaither's background. There were rumors that Gaither was seen in private with a younger man, but no photos were located to confirm these claims. Reports surfaced of him and the same man appearing to be more than just friends on multiple occasions. Repairs were made by the Gaither team without a doubt, without wasting any time. Shortly thereafter, a statement was released denying the comment was made by Mark Lowry and saying that he was only joking. As the note put it, it was all in good fun. The damage had already been done, but they said, "Bill Gaither is a man of faith, and any rumors that say otherwise are completely false." The situation was deteriorating at an alarming rate. Supporters started arguing furiously, defending Gaither and dismissing the entire incident as an innocent oversight. A few individuals took the defensive. Someone else may have felt deceived and held on to the secret for a long time. A furious fan commented, "If this is true, he's been lying to us the whole time. I don't care if he's gay or not, I just want to know why it had to be a secret," an individual wrote. Then there was Mark Lowry, who, by adding gasoline to the fire, made matters worse rather than better. The following message was posted by Lowry on social media several hours after the fire. The truth always finds its way out. Sometimes it just takes the right moment. It was brief, straightforward, and shocking. The topic shifted again completely out of nowhere. Why did Lowry redouble his efforts instead of apologizing if he was being truthful? Why passed up the opportunity to clarify things? Did he really say anything that wasn't intended to be said? In keeping with expectations, Gaither's group promptly contacted Lowry and requested an explanation of his meaning. Not long after that, he sent out yet another message which worsened the situation. "I love Bill Gaither. He's been like a brother to me for years, but I won't lie to my audience," said the comedian. The audience went absolutely bonkers. The type of nebulous, open-ended response that piques curiosity is precisely what you got there. He appeared to be corroborating the rumors. Was the mayhem something he was merely enjoying? It was unclear. One thing was certain, though. Church music would never sound the same. The destruction followed. When asked why they were canceling Gaither concerts, concert venues cited the debate. Because of the backlash, sponsors began to reevaluate their collaborations, fearing for their own reputations. Several churches that had previously taken pride in supporting Gaither's work withdrew their support. Who else but Gaither? He remained silent for several days. He remained silent, refused to give interviews, and paid no attention to social media. However, the more he remained silent, the more people assumed the worst of him. "If it wasn't true, why not just say it wasn't true?" one fan asked, before he finally spoke up after nearly a week of silence. "I've always lived my life with integrity. I've given my heart and soul to this ministry, to this music, and to the people who have supported me. I will not entertain false rumors, nor will I let them distract from what truly matters, spreading the word of God through music." It didn't resonate with people. An additional supporter clarified, "That's not a denial." So he's going to avoid all the bad things. People in the gospel music industry said, "Someone else wrote," that was the worst reaction. A well-known singer in the industry who had previously collaborated with Gaither tweeted, "Some of us have known the truth for a long time. It's just surprising it took this long to come out." And that was the end of it. It only required that the situation had spiraled out of control. One of the most significant issues in the history of church music arose from what may have been a simple slip of the tongue or a joke. Whether or not Bill Gaither's career could recover from this was the real question, not whether the rumors were true. The tale of Mark Lowry and Bill Gaither is among the most captivating in the history of church music. Their songs, speeches, and expressions of faith and hope have touched the lives of millions for a long time. Two of the most prominent figures in Christian music, they rose from relative obscurity to superstardom. Their impact on Christian music was substantial. They weren't merely musicians. They were storytellers whose music drew listeners nearer to God, boosted their spirits, and demonstrated the transformative power of faith. Their influence extended well beyond the realm of the stage, touching the lives of individuals in every corner of the globe. Bill Gaither did begin composing music, even though he was not initially famous or performing in major venues. He hoped to one day spread the faith through music. His hometown was rather small. Gaither felt a profound impact from music's ability to bring people to faith when he was a little boy growing up in Indiana. He was content to make a meaningful contribution rather than pursue fame or wealth. At first, he taught full-time while also writing songs in his spare time. Every word was spoken with all his sincere emotion. His wife Gloria joined him in songwriting, and the two of them composed some of the most iconic gospel songs of all time, including "Because He Lives" and "He Touched Me." These weren't merely pretty melodies, they were narratives of faith that could relate to anyone who had ever hoped, believed, or struggled. Up until the arrival of the Gaither vocal band, religious music had not changed much. It had a distinct and memorable sound because it blended contemporary Christian music with classic Southern gospel melodies. Many members came and went throughout the years they were together, but Mark Lowry was among the most well-known additions. Lowry stood out from the crowd thanks to his singing abilities and his ability to make everyone feel welcome, laugh, and even a part of the performance. Because of his influence, the group's collaboration evolved into something more than just a performance. They evolved into gatherings characterized by lively music, humorous anecdotes, and lots of laughing. Beyond his tenure with the Gaither vocal band, Lowry made significant contributions to the field of church music. Even in the most serious of situations, he had a way of making people laugh and smile through his humor and oratory. Because he could be both humorous and deeply religious, he was beloved by many. One of the most popular Christmas songs of all time, Mary Did You Know, was written by him while he was a member of Gaither. Some of the world's most famous musicians have covered the song, which was originally a poem. However, Lowry was more concerned with making her voice heard than with gaining fame. A deeper understanding of Christmas and the emotions Mary must have felt while carrying the Son of God were his intended outcome. The emotional depth that Gaither and Lowry possessed set them apart from other church musicians. Their shows were well known. Unlike other choir groups, Gaither performed a full-length concert rather than merely singing songs. There were anecdotes, spontaneous prayers, and plenty of mirth. Lowry would make fun of his bandmates and the audience with jokes before delivering an emotionally wrenching performance that would have them in tears. At all times, Gaither presided over the show with an air of cool authority, making sure that everyone felt welcome and at home. Indeed, that is essentially the way it was. Seeing a performance, learning about their religion, and feeling like they belonged were the main draws for many. Moreover, the Gaither Homecoming series attracted even more viewers. An enormous amount of work went into putting together a concert with the Gaither gospel legends. Homecoming shows and DVDs were beloved by Christians because they paid tribute to the artists who had made gospel music famous while introducing new generations to old favorites. Aside from acts, the series had more. In doing so, it celebrated both the present and the future. Gaither and his group ensured that the legacy of gospel music's elders would live on by banding together in this way. But there were issues because it was a long job. Lowry left the Gaither vocal band multiple times for various reasons. Opinions vary as to why he decided to step away from constant travel. Some claim he wanted to concentrate on his solo business. Whenever he departed, for whatever reason, it seemed as though a piece of the Gaither legacy was ripped away. However, upon each return, it appeared as though he had never been absent. All the joy, excitement, and passion remained in them. Their authority grew as time went on. Their ability to connect with listeners and their unwavering commitment to the gospel made them role models for younger gospel artists. Despite shifts in musical fashion, their songs were covered by countless artists. Their concerts continued to sell out, and their music provided solace and optimism to countless listeners. After that, issues arose. There has been a lot of speculation and uncertainty in the church world since the recent scandal involving Gaither broke. Those who had followed him for decades began to question their assumptions. Did a new age begin with this? Is it possible that the bond they had forged will endure this ordeal? Their impact on the church music industry is undeniable. We are moved by their songs, singing, and faith, and it is evident that music can elevate the spirit and draw people closer to God. A variety of answers were given. Some individuals were so committed to Gaither that they would not believe any negative rumors. Others were let down and confused about the man they had once admired because of the charges leveled against him. No matter what happened, the music never changed. The controversial songs that had touched countless people's lives continued to hold value. The lyrics and music continued to bring solace to those who sought it out in times of distress. The performer Lowry persisted in evoking laughter, thought, and conversation, which was his strong suit, no matter the setting, a stage, an interview, or even social media. He never changed a thing. Many speculated as to Lowry's true feelings regarding Gaither's situation. Was he trying to stir up trouble? Had he simply been too candid? Was he just plain unacting, though? I remember when our little Suzanne was a baby, I would sing her, "What a fellowship, what a joy divine, leaning on the everlasting arms," said Lowry. because it leads to a rocks chair. She even told me to sing the T-Chip song when she could talk, so you can totally rock out and sing it. I was sure she was bringing up religious topics when she said, "Sing that tat chip, what a joy divine," to which I responded, "What?" But even as a baby, that stayed with her, and by the time she was 3 years old, she still remembered it. I hope that now that she has grown children of her own, she finds solace in the words of "What a fellowship, what a joy divine, leaning on the everlasting arms," whenever her children face challenges. No matter what happens, the contributions of Bill Gaither and Mark Lowry to church music will live on. Songs have been sung in homes, churches, and music rooms across the globe. Their messages of love, hope, and faith have reached people of all backgrounds. Not only did they leave behind music, but also recollections, moments, and the emotions they evoked. The future of Gaither's career is uncertain, but one thing is certain: his music will endure. The church world eagerly awaits his next move. Their memory will always be etched in stone, shaped by joy and sorrow, triumph and tragedy. Whether their names are lauded or slandered, their music will endure as a backdrop to the spiritual paths of countless individuals.